Hello, I'm Angel and welcome to my galaxy. Artfight has been all over my For You page, so I'm starting to think YouTube needs to tell me something. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, wait, it's already that time? No. Tiny bit of panic, but it's fine. That reaction was mostly because this year would be my first year participating in Artfight, woo! And I am terrified. Now I know there's technically nothing to worry about, but starting new things is always nerve-wracking. And that is why we are preparing early, because frankly I want to be prepared and I suggest you want to be prepared as well. This is not everything I prepared because I'm still in the middle of drawing everything and getting it together as we speak. So if you want to see the rest of my preparation, then go ahead and tell me in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Anywho, let's get to talking about the character sheets I made. I decided early on that I was just going to make these sheets very simple because I do not have the time or energy to do a full character sheet. With everything happening in my life, I am a bit worried about not being able to fully participate due to personal stuff, but I'm going to try my best. On a lighter note, these characters are all from my modern fantasy world. They are not fully developed, but I think that's okay. I really want to get attached to these characters and show them off more on my channel. This first one here is Sophia. I'm actually quite happy with her design so far. She is a flower hybrid thing and I love her. She's my nervous little child. I don't have much going on in her story at the moment. She's got her issues such as paranoia, a bit of a drinking problem, and a new relationship she's starting. So, she's got issues. But a character without issues is boring, so I'm gonna take this as a win for me. And it seems like this is the finished product, yep. And we're going to be moving on to the next one, which should be right about now. This character is actually who Sophia is dating. It is Liam. The two work in the same building together as accountants, and it kind of just ended up happening. I feel at this point in time they'd only be dating for a year, but that's surprisingly not a lot of time in a relationship, so I feel like they still have their bumps and stuff. Both are young and still immature, so you know how that goes. Pair that with both of them having their own issues, such as Sophia having her drinking problem, Liam being a hacker in secret. It's just not a very good mix. Now, don't get me wrong, I want them to be happy, I want them to be together, but I want them to earn it first. I just enjoy when my couple OCs have a bit of pizzazz to their relationship and aren't just perfect, if that makes sense. That aside, I believe we are at the end. Here's the finished product. And now we're going to get started on to the next one. This one is James, and he is one of the few that I'm not quite happy with the design of. I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about his design. I'll figure it out eventually. I will say out of everyone, James had a lot of redesigns. He's pretty southern and tough, but also kind of parental in a way he doesn't like to show very often. He kind of just unconsciously takes people under his wing when he sees a chance to, even though he doesn't mean to. I would say he's the living embodiment of aggressive positivity. After this, we have his younger co-worker who he has taken under his wing on accident. So we get to see a bit of that father-son vibe in just a moment, but we are coming up to the end of the picture. Speed paint? You know what I meant. It's fine. And now we're going to go ahead and transfer to the next character. This is Matteo. As stated, he is the younger co-worker of James. Matteo is kind-hearted and clumsy, so he's terrible at his job. Perfect person for a southern father figure, if you ask me. They're so opposite because 1, opposite personalities are always fun to play with. 2, I want them to learn from each other. I want Matteo to learn to be more confident in himself and others, and then I want James to learn to be more gentle and patient. Side note, I didn't mention this, but they work in a zoo for fantasy creatures, so take that knowledge and be gone. Matteo has also gone through a lot of redesigns, and I'm honestly still not quite happy with him. Something about him I don't like. But we've run out of time, so here's his thing. Now we're going to move on to the next one in a moment. This one is Theodore, or Theo for short. I remember the exact moment that I decided I'm going to make a character like Theodore. I kind of just zoned out for a moment, and when I came back, I was like, I want a sassy character. specifically one with an acting job. I don't know, he was one of those characters that just came together really easily. Though I will say I hate drawing dragons. I have no idea why I drew him as a dragon. I don't know, when creatures have a tail and then wings, it's too much. At least, for me it is. If they're like little tiny wings, it's fine. But Theodore has big wings because I decided why not. That was my way to tell you I did not add the wings in this reference. I did make a note of this fact in the little character permission description thingy bobber, you know what I mean. So yeah, his wings kind of just pop in and out of existence, and that's that. He also has a cane because he has Parkinson's disease, and I believe that's all I have time to say. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing in just a moment. Next up, we have Remy. Much like the other characters, I took this time to kind of redesign her, not too much, but enough where she looks better. I think I only really changed like 2 things about the design, to be honest. I added a random scar on their arm. I don't know where that came from, but he has that now. He used to be very skinny as well, so I made her a bit more chubby. Not like a lot, but more like she had a child and then couldn't get rid of some of the baby weight. Which, yes, they do have a child. We'll actually be drawing them in a moment, but for now we're doing their parent. We're pretty much at the end, and I do want to point out it says Remy, but it's meant to be Remy, so just ignore it, it's fine. With Remy done, we can now move on to Zen, which is the child of Remy. Zen is 7 years old, and in my world, sirens don't have genders until they are adults, so they are neither male or female at the moment, so just use they, them pronouns. I feel the need to explain that whenever Zen comes up, since a lot of people get confused when I mention Zen. Zen and Remy's point was mostly to develop the underwater world of my fantasy world. It's probably the most underdeveloped part of my whole OC world in general. I don't expect many attacks for my Siren OCs or for Matteo, but that's okay, it's all in fun. Here's the finished product, but anyways, I wanted to join Artfight not to expect something in return, but because I figured it'd be good practice for me to draw other people's characters. That being said, we're going to have a quick lightning round where I do little mini thumbnails for my characters. They're just simple little chibis. I mostly did these chibis for fun, so I didn't take it very seriously. In the end, I think that worked out for the better because these ended up being pretty silly looking, and I like that. Some of them I feel I put a bit more effort into, not because the character was exactly my favorite, but just because I wanted to. And I think that's a good enough reason. Speaking of favorites, I don't really have a favorite OC, more just ones that I obsess over for a while and then switch to a different one. Which turns out to be pretty lucky, because that means I don't really care which one of my OCs get drawn specifically, I'll be happy with anything. Though admittedly, I am curious as to who is going to get drawn more, or if I'm going to get any. I already have quite a few characters bookmarked, but I'm not going to be strict on getting them done. I heard somewhere that you shouldn't bookmark characters so early, just in case they get taken down, but it is addicting to do that. I don't know how to put it, but pressing the random character button and then bookmarking that character is weirdly addicting. Anywho, once we finish Zen here, we'll be all set and done. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video, I appreciate you a lot. Like stated before, this is not all my Artfight Prep, but I don't think you want to watch a longer video since I'm already sick of myself, so I'm gonna go, bye!